Hello, in this video I will show you how to use the freeze columns and freeze rows features in Google Sheets. When working with very large data sets, it is helpful to use this option in Google Sheets. For instance, I have a very large file here that provides the school expenditure per student in 2021, and it includes many variables and has many observations. So it has about 2,259 observations and many variables. So, and these are listed by school and by county. So if I am scrolling to the right and trying to look at the variables, it is very hard to see which values refer to which school and which county. And then also when I'm scrolling down, it is very hard to track which values represent which variables if I'm not memorizing the order of the variables. So a very helpful feature, as I mentioned earlier, is the freezing rows and freezing columns feature in Google Sheets. So let's say that I want to freeze the columns first. For instance, I want to be able to see the school names every time I'm scrolling to the right. So I'm going to just select this column, and then I'm going to view and select freeze and go to columns, and notice here that you have the option of freezing one column, two columns, and all the columns up to column E. So all the columns up to the school name, which is what I'm going to select here because I also want to be able to see the school system or the county where each school is located. So I'm going to select this one. So now if I'm scrolling to the right, notice how all these variables are changing, but these other variables up to column E remain in place. Of course, it's hard to see because these columns are so wide, but if I'm narrowing them down, it is easier to see that when I'm scrolling to the right, the first columns up to the school name remain in place, whereas the other columns are moving. Of course, I can do the same with the header row. So I am going to select the first row, and again I'm going to select view and freeze, and this time I'm just going to freeze one row, which is the first row that provides the variable names. And now if I'm scrolling down, notice that I can always see the variable names on top. So if I'm scrolling to the right, I can see the school names and I can see all the variable names.